Watch the real-life program about exceptional destinies, remarkable opportunities, and unbelievable facts right now.
In the heat, in the cold, and in the rain, this man has opened the door of the Almaty Blood Center more than 1,000 times. Thank you, donor. The gratitude greets everyone who opens the door. For more than 40 years, he donated his blood. As a donor, I am now in the second place in the world. In first place is James Harrison from Australia. According to the Red Cross, he had given 1,107 donations, and I have 1,058. My task is to take Kazakhstan to first place.
Конечно, вывести Казахстан на первое место.
Alexander Skakovsky, the first donor of Kazakhstan. Be healthy for others. A simple feat of donors. And as a musician-theoretician practicing bloodletting. At the registration desk, he reports as a soldier. He's arrived for donations. Today already, the 158th time, the standard procedure is unchanged. The questionnaire for the blood donor, the photo, and the appointment to the laboratory. I'm okay. Hemoglobin 145. Great hemoglobin. Today, Alexander Nikolaevich is accompanied by his wife, Olga Petrovna. She's waiting for him in the foyer. Almost every week he comes here as if to work. I say, maybe enough, you're not 23 years old anymore. He says, well, so what? People still need help. So for him, it's a holiday. He dresses up and goes with pleasure.
Он говорит, ну и что же, людям и сегодня надо помогать. Так что для него это праздник. Он наряжается и идет с удовольствием.
He has the blood pressure of an astronaut. But there was a time when he was suffering from low blood pressure. It came back to normal, he says, as soon as he began to donate blood. Now drink some tea and go to the second floor. Thank you so much. All the best. A very pleasant procedure is to drink hot, sweet tea. And it's necessary for the donor. It liquefies the blood, relieves excess intensity from the body. He easily operates with medical terms. He says he reads a lot. He once needed medical help. He came through the surgery, so there was a desire to help everyone in need. Lounging in hospitals, I was exhausted. I saw how donor blood is necessary and it's insufficient. Thus, relatives are forced to literally catch donors on the street and beg for donated blood.
Вынуждены буквально ловить на улицах доноров, упрашивать, чтобы они сдали кровь для тяжело больного человека.
Alexander Skakovsky became a donor in 1971. He talks about how he graduated from the Almaty Conservatory and got to Shymkent for distribution. He taught at the Institute of Culture. He was a senior at the Department of Music Theory. Life was full, but blood is better if it's liquid, he says, interrupting the story. How much longer? 4 minutes. Well, you see, perfectly, 4 minutes. This is the story about how he became a donor. He lived in a dormitory in a separate room waiting for the first labor to leave, and then a knock sounded on the door. I was young, healthy. I didn't smoke, didn't drink alcohol. I did sports, successfully passed the test, and one of all the arrivals donated blood.
Успешно прошел тестирование, и меня одного из всех вот прибывших взяли кровь.
580 liters of blood. This is the total amount for the whole time. He wants to be a donor for another 20 years. Proper nutrition, regimen and exercise. He learned to take care of his health. After all, he shares it with the others. That's how you have to maintain your donor's tone so that the blood does not stagnate. The age limit in Kazakhstan is now completely removed. Blood can be taken at an unlimited age. The main thing is to have proper health and that physicians allow you to another donation of blood. Well, until now, my health has not failed me.
Чтобы медики допускали каждой очередной кроводачи. Но меня пока здоровье в этом плане не подводит.
Here are a few facts. Blood is red because of iron. It carries oxygen. Besides this, there is gold in human blood. It is interesting that some spiders have blue blood as they have copper instead of iron. By the way, mosquitoes prefer the blood of the first group. A liquid inside green coconuts can be used as a substitute for blood plasma. So we'll exercise the legs now. I became a voluntary blood donor on July the 12th, 1971, and then also a plasma and immune plasma donor. I remain an active donor to this day.
Донором плазмы и иммунной плазмы. Остаюсь действующим донором и по сей день.
Excellent health is a heritage on his maternal line. Now he's 70, but he says his ancestors lived to be 90 or more. With good nutrition, having a lot of protein, carbohydrates, vitamins, a week later the plasma will be restored. In a week I can come to donate again. But red blood cells recover only in 2 months, so they will now transfuse it into me so that I remain an active donor all the time. Moreover, it's the plasma that is transferred to the seriously sick patients.
Тем более, что вливается больным, тяжело больным именно плазма.
His father was a geologist, one of the best students of the academician Obruchev. He developed many textbooks on geological exploration. He was not only a theorist, but also a practitioner. Even before the war, he discovered a deposit of molybdenum. This metal was used for making heavy equipment. Before the war, my father opened the East Conrad molybdenum deposit here in Kazakhstan. He gave up to 60% of all the molybdenum mined in the Soviet Union, and it went on defense.
Всего добываемого молибдена в Советском Союзе шло на оборону.
Sitting in the donor's chair, he told his story, a bloody one. As in 1937, due to a false denunciation, his father was detained. Alexander spoke about how the letter of his father to the Union elder Mikhail Kalinin from the NKVD gave him the opportunity to be born. It was written with blood on cigarette paper. The commission investigated, and in 1940 they released him and those whom he mentioned in his bloody letter. In this, he sees a special sign and the connection with his donor activities. I have no physiological need to donate blood. There's a moral need for it. And I'm a healthy person. I can continue to donate. His mother was also a geologist. She was interested in painting and music, however, and saw a cellist in Alexander. So he arrived in Almaty to study at the music school named after Kulyash by Setova. But children older than 10 years were not accepted. Only the trumpet class remained. The only thing that I had as a child is a clean, high voice. That's what always attracted everyone, and they believed that I was musically gifted and must necessarily be engaged in music.
Музыкально одаренный и должен обязательно заниматься музыкой.
Poems on the chair in the past, solfeggio, choir, elementary music theory. For a little boy who grew up in the steppe, it was real torture. Well, for me, until recently a villager who was brought from the station of Chu in the Jambul region. There I played with snakes, with lizards, with camels. I caught snakes with my own hands, swam in the river, was sunburnt with lichen on my forehead, and suddenly they took me to an elite music school.
Рыбачил там, был загорелый, до черна, с лишаями там на лбу, и вдруг меня в элитную музыкальную школу.
He was modestly disobedient. If I were obedient, maybe I would not have become a donor. I had my hands broken in my time. Many are in doubt whether I am a musician by looking at my hands.
Сомневаются, музыкант ли я по образованию, глядя на мои руки.
Of course, he played truant, but as he says, by the 8th grade he became more zealous, and quantity grew into quality. He worked towards graduation. At the same time, he was fond of modeling ships. Ships, submarines and cruisers also attracted him. Invariably, I took at least 3rd place in most competitions. At the very first competition, I took 1st place, once being a pupil in the 6th grade. The music won. He entered the conservatory. He played in a student orchestra under the baton of the famous director Fuat Mansurov. In the exercises, he overdid himself and damaged his embouchure. However, he did not quit the conservatory. He became a musicologist. Again, diligence helped. Now, if they would tell me to go this way, I wouldn't. There would not be enough strength, will, or perseverance. In my youth, of course, I was healthy and strong-willed. If somewhere there was not enough intellect, then I still said that I would aim at my goal not with my mind, but with my forehead. His blood also found its way. He donated it for victims of the Chernobyl disaster. It's not half a liter, but a double dose. And then there was Spitak, the earthquake in Armenia, which claimed the lives of more than 25,000 people, and there were more than 50,000 injured.
Вот туда я сдал, произвел 50 донаций в Армению.
There I donated 50 times, and I could do it even more. But then the Soviet Union disintegrated, it became impossible to transport blood. And we have a lot of trouble in Kazakhstan. In particular, there are our citizens who suffered from nuclear tests at the site in Semipalatinsk.
Самая большая беда – это пострадавшие наши граждане от ядерных испытаний на Семипалатинском полигоне.
James Harrison, known as the man with the golden blood, a donor from Australia, had in his blood a rare antigen which was discovered and allowed over 2 million people to be cured. He's included in the Guinness Book of Records as a person who donated blood more than 1,000 times. Alexander Skakovsky is the record holder of the Book of Records of Kazakhstan. On his chest is the governmental medal, Shapagat, which means mercy. And to this day, when it happens that his blood group is urgently needed, then he comes on call. He shares his health. In return, he gets a sense of being needed. In Soviet times, this was considered one of the highest manifestations of man's patriotic activity, and so it was directly written in the instructions. I'm happy that I have been a donor for over 46 years. Here I am completely satisfied.
Здесь у меня полное удовлетворение.
If only there would be less alarms. Let them bypass the troubles. Well, the donors were and will be like soldiers in the ranks at the ready.
Солдаты в строю, наготове.